Hi, and welcome back to Kids Stories and More. I'm Mimi, and we are going to continue our series. I think this is part 8, if I'm not mistaken, of What Would You Do? Now, in the description below, we have a playlist that is growing as the weeks go on, months go on, of past What Would You Do's, and you should definitely check them out. And if you haven't already, please like and share and subscribe. We'd love to hear comments from you, as always. And anything you'd like to hear on What Would You Do, please let us know. Now, this is inspired by this book, What Would You Do? It is written by Linda Schwartz, illustrated by Beverly Armstrong. It's What Would You Do? A Kid's Guide to Tricky and Sticky Situations. Now, these situations that I'm going to be talking about today are ones when you're out on your own. So the first one is about a runaway pet. So you're walking your dog when he suddenly sees a cat. Excited, he dashes after the animal, pulling the leash from your hand. Oh no! What do you do? Well, that is a tricky situation, isn't it? Well, the first thing is do not dash into the street after your pet, okay? You're going to want to stop at the curb, look both ways, because if you're just focused on running after the dog, you can get hurt. Okay, so you do not want to get hit by a car as well as your pet, but your pet probably runs a lot faster than you do. So chances are your pet will make it across the street before, and not get harmed. So to get your dog's attention, try clapping loudly, calling his or her name, kind of, come on, Fido, let's go, Fido, come on. And whistling could do the trick as well. You know your pet. What things help make him or her calm? You're going to want to bring his attention back to you. And if nothing else, maybe it'll pause him briefly because he'll hear his name, and then it'll give you time to catch up to the dog as well. Now, like I said, if you must follow the dog after calling and he doesn't respond, then of course, check both ways, make sure it's safe to cross, and go after. If your dog does not respond to your call and you're unable to find the animal, now let's say he ran under the bushes and through somebody's yard and into the whatever it is, you can't find the dog, what you should do is call home. Ask one of your parents to drive you back to the place where your pet ran away. Okay? Bring along a treat for your dog, something that he cannot resist. You're going to want, because he'll pick up that scent if you get close enough, okay? And then you could always say, treat, treat. If no adult is home, maybe ask a neighbor or call the local animal control office. Now, here's the bit of caution for calling animal control. Animal control officers are often unable to return found pets to their owners because the animals do not carry adequate identification. So preemptively, what you should always do, and my pets are prime examples, they do not leave the house without their necklaces, their collars. Their collars have their tag with their name and my phone number on it. Or you might have your address on it, whatever it is. So somebody finds the pet, can contact you to come get your pet. Also, it's important to get your dog or cat chipped, okay? So if for some reason they're not wearing the collar, or it fell off, or maybe you gave it a bath and you took obviously you got to take the collar off to give a bath and you hadn't put it back on yet and the dog got away from you, if they're chipped, any veterinarian or poison control can wand them and find out who they belong to as well. So you're going to want to have proper identification on that animal at all times if they are going out at any time. So please make sure, if your dog or cat does not already have a collar with proper identification and is not chipped, please go get those things done immediately. Now, the next scenario. Did you know, actually, before I get to the next scenario, did you know to do all those things? A lot of you are smart cookies. Well, here's the next scenario, a lost ring. And this could be any piece of jewelry. While trying on clothes in a department store, you lose the ring your grandmother gave you. You look in the dressing room and in other places throughout the store, you backtrack all your steps and you can't find it. The ring is not expensive, but it has a lot of sentimental value. That means it's very special. because your grandmother gave it to you. It reminds you of your grandmother. So what do you do? That's hard. I'm sure we've all lost something that was very important to us. What do you think you should do? Okay, good ideas. Well, here's something you can do. Go to the customer service desk. All stores have a customer service desk. If you're not sure where it is, ask anyone that works there where that is. And if for some reason they don't, ask to speak to a manager or supervisor at the store. Explain what happened to them. Leave your name, telephone number, a description of the ring. So for example, it's a circle of gold hearts, or it's got the letter M on it, or it's white gold with rubies, whatever it is, whatever describe it. So if somebody turns it in or they find it when they're sweeping, they know it belongs to you and to call you first. And then after that, what I would do is I'd go around to the salespeople that are there and tell them what happened. Especially in the department you were shopping in. Let them know that you left your name and phone number at customer service, and if they happen to find it or somebody comes up to them with the ring, hopefully somebody will turn it in, that they go up to customer service and let them know it's been found for you. These are some great tips. We got another one for you. So the next scenario is back to animals, an injured animal. While walking with a friend, you notice a cat lying in the street near the curb. When you get closer, you see that the cat's leg is bleeding. You decide that this poor animal probably has been hit by a car. Well, what are you going to do? That is a tough situation because you can't just leave him there because he'll get run over, probably. And of course, it's inhumane to leave an animal that's hurt. But what can you do? Here's something you can do. First off, don't touch the pet. Don't lift the pet. Don't try and move the cat. Don't give it food or water either, because you don't know if there's any internal injuries or anything else that's going on with the cat. If you can do so safely, check to see if the cat is wearing identification. Remember we said that that was important, a tag, maybe with the name of the owner, phone number, address, something. If there is, obviously make that call first to the owner of the cat. So your friend might be able to call while you watch over the cat. And if you cannot find a tag, can't reach the owner, ask the friend to call animal control officers, the Humane Society, or police. Now remember what we said about the animal control. If it's not wearing a tag, it's going to be harder to return to the owner. So make sure that your cats and dogs are always wearing their identification. Now, next thing, have your friend tell the person who answers, if someone does pick up, where the animal is, what's happened to it, and ask what you should do. So if you did call the police, the Humane Society, the Animal Control, have your friend explain to them where you are, because they're going to need the address to come pick up the cat and help. What's happened to it, you see blood on the leg, whatever you can see visually, and ask what you can do in the meantime while they're en route to come get the cat. Because it could take, they may not be able to get to it right away. Now, while your friend makes that telephone call, stay with the cat, because one, if a car's coming or a bicyclist or whatever is coming, you're going to want to motion to that driver to go around, okay? But you need to be safe. So we said that the cat was near the curb. So stand on the sidewalk. If you see a car coming, just kind of wave it, get its attention, and so it could go around. You don't want to go in the middle of the street. You can take one step down, kind of like, so it goes around you, but don't, be careful. Make sure that you're safe as well as the cat. Kind of draw attention so they, point down so they see, oh, okay, let me go around it. Also, if it's an unusually hot, sunny day, you're going to want to try and shade the cat as well, because it could have been out there for hours before you found it. So if you have an umbrella or maybe a jacket or a sweatshirt, maybe you can kind of hold it. Don't put it on it because you don't want to make the heat worse, but kind of hold it over it so it creates some kind of shade for the animal. And that's pretty much all you can do until some help comes. I hope these pointers help out if you're ever in that type of situation. Now, our last scenario, thunderstorm. One Saturday morning, you decide to meet a friend in the park to play ball. While you're waiting for your friend to arrive, the sky grows dark and is pierced by jagged bolts of lightning. Rain begins to fall. Loud claps of thunder echo all around. What should you do? Well, that's a problem. Now, let me just read you something from here. Lightning is a powerful discharge of electricity and can be very dangerous, as you might already know. A lightning bolt usually moves from one cloud to another or from one cloud to the ground. It often strikes the highest thing in its path. That could be a tree, that could be a house, that could be a telephone pole. So you're not going to want to stand under a huge tree if there's lightning coming down. Okay, because if it strikes the tree is going to fall and you're under it. That's not going to be pretty. You're going to get hurt. True story, when I was, I guess, around 17, I was at the swim club with my mom. All of a sudden, the skies opened up. Rain was coming down, cats and dogs. We run for the car. We're heading home. And I see off in the distance, kind of like where we live, a lightning bolt. And you could tell it hit something on the ground. It hit down. It came down. I'm like, oh my goodness, that looks like well, sure enough, when we got home, it had hit a tree on our property. The tree split. A huge branch came over, downed the wires, pulled that were attached from our house to the pole, pulled off some of the siding, some of the roof, and if somebody was under that tree, could have gotten really hurt. So you definitely do not want to be under a tree. And you also do not want to take refuge in a metal shed either, because metal is a conductor of electricity and you don't want to get electrocuted. So you're safer to remain out in the open, away from things that are tall or made of metal. Likewise, if you have one of those umbrellas with that big metal point at the top, you're not going to want to use that either. Keep away from electrical poles because, as I said, those can come down. And those wires, they're live once they split and hit the ground. So you got to be careful. If you're at home during a thunderstorm, stay away from electrical appliances. In fact, you might even want to unplug some of them, like the toaster ovens and things like that, especially your television set. A television antenna that has not been grounded properly can lead to lightning into your set. So if you have one of those old ones with the antenna, be careful. Don't take a bath during a thunderstorm. Did you know that? Don't take a bath. Many bathtubs are made of coated metal. So both metal and water are good conductors of electricity, and you can get electrocuted, so you don't want to be taking a bath during a thunderstorm. So these are just some pointers to take note of when there's a thunderstorm. Obviously, when you get yourself to safety, call your friends, say, play date is off today, we'll try this again tomorrow, and always be safe during a thunderstorm. Well, I hope these pointers and tips help you out in your next tricky or sticky situation, and please come back for more what would you do's, as well as activities, read alouds, cooking, we do it all here. Fun challenges. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, ask us any question, something you'd like to know more about, and we will try and answer for you. Mimi signing off. Bye-bye.